longer and healthier lives. Artificial intelligence is now helping reduce the time it takes to develop new drugs, according to one player in the sector. In Silico Medicine claims that it can design, synthesize and evaluate a new medicine in just 46 days, compared with the typical 2 to 3 years. It says AI eliminates false starts and hopes to reduce the cost of drugs in the process. Well, I'm joined now by Sergey Young. He is founder of the Longevity Vision Fund, which has just backed in Silico with $37 million. Sergey, welcome to you. These are big claims.
Yeah, it is, yeah. I think we just underestimate how technology changed our lives and not only the quantity of life, but quality as well. Yeah.
Right, of course. How is AI actually doing this? How is it cutting down the development time?
So basically what is happening, I mean, in Silico Medicine is only one of our investments, right? And there's many investors in Silico, like, Juvenescence with Jim Mellon and a lot of other people. So what is happening is humans produced a lot of academic paper, research, etc. It's just impossible for human being or human beings to review all of that. So when you try to find targets for new drugs, you need to review the whole library. And AI, obviously do it much, much faster.
Of course, there's one thing lengthening people's life expectancy. Yeah. Isn't that going to create demand for in other areas like orthopedic services, for example?
Yeah, sure. I mean, just look at what is happening in terms of changing the products and services available to us, right? So we look at Fitbit or Apple Watch, right? We tend to think this is activity tracker. It's not anymore. It's your personalized healthcare device, right? So Apple Watch can do electrocardiogram. It can detect when you fall down in the street, and it can call ambulance for you, right? So Apple Watch has saved quite a bit, few lives, last than this year. Or driverless cars. If you are part, I was about to say, if you drive driverless cars. So if you're part of driverless car, experience, your chances to, go to the accident is just decreased by 10 times. And arrival of actually cybercrime, funny enough, decreased the, street violence by, up to 5 times in some of the streets. So environment becoming much more longevity friendly and longevity enabling.
Now, your fund's got $100 million at its disposal. How many investments are you making, and what sort of payback are you looking for?
So, look, when people come to us and say, we want to invest money with you, when I say, if you're here only for financial return, it's not the best place. With $100 million fund, at a certain point of time, we became one of the largest longevity-focused funds in the world. It just shows you how fragile and immature and emerging this sector is. So we're looking at not only making financial return, up to 10–20% a year, but also give our investors in the public early access to technology and technologies that we're supporting. And third is just make a world a better place.
Very good. Got to leave it there. Sergey, very good to see you. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you. Go to Boots today and ask, can I have medicine against aging? They would just think you're kind of crazy, or you just seen a lot of advertising of supplements. So until aging will be recognized as disease, I don't think we'll see the same inflow of capital into the space, which obviously complement to all of us because we are a little bit early there, but hopefully not too early. And I'm very happy to see just a lot of advancements in different countries and different parliaments where these questions is being discussed. What else? And I'm usually using cancer as example of what can happen with only 70 to 80 billion of R&D money inflowing something every year. Think about like 20 years. People were delaying the day when they knew whether they have cancer or not. Because cancer for many people automatically meant a kiss of death. It's not anymore. It's very difficult disease. We're not there yet, but 6 out of, when I started to work on that, 2008 or 2006, figures for US, like top revenue selling drugs in the US, there was only one anti-cancer drug, and the rest was like Viagra, statins, etc. So right now it's 6 out of 10. It's obviously a reflection of how expensive this whole thing is, but we've seen, in our history, we've seen many cases when something starts on a very expensive side, and it's just becoming more and more affordable and accessible. So my dream is the aging to become the next cancer in regulatory and economic opportunity terms. And well, let's bring us to the other very futuristic topic. When we were thinking about our assets allocation for Longevity Vision Fund, we created this kind of third horizon, day after tomorrow, when the definition of human mind and body will be very different. So we're talking about augmented humans. And I kind of thought there's no way we should, and we could invest more than like 3% of our capital into that. But what we discovered, the elements of future definition of human is already here. So we're looking at 3 human avatars company, 2 from Japan and 1 from California right now. And thanks to our colleagues from Juvenescence, we've been able to join the current funding for Ligenesis. So I think this part of the future is really far away, and I'm actually waiting for this with combination of excitement and fear, like many of us. But I actually think that it's might arrive a little bit faster than we think. And finally, what I also like, and it's reflection of more and more people coming to the longevity conferences, investing in longevity, spending their money, lives, and dedication on longevity. And it's great that economics of aging is becoming positive, not only in our books and in our minds, but I'm a big fan of Vitality UK. This is my takeaway of this year. I spent amazing half of the day with management team this summer. It's great that, we're just going through understanding of that into like really using that. And for some of you don't know that the plan that they use, they just give you like something like an Apple Watch, and then you commit and you advise, make certain positive changes in your lifestyle, like your diet or what's your activity profile for the day. And it's a little bit sophisticated motivation system. In the end, you can kind of get your Apple Watch almost for free. But their like weekly motivation thing is free coffee from Starbucks. And you'd be amazed how many things we can do for like free coffee from Starbucks. And the funny thing is you always think that it's going to be like the fittest and healthiest guys who will take this. It's not. Actually, the people who are in need of these radical changes, they are like the first embracers of free coffee from Starbucks and positive lifestyle changes. So it all works for everyone. People spend 1 day less in the hospital. People spend 1 day more on the work. Their happiness index increase, and they just becoming more healthier patients, human beings, and family members. So I like all of that. Aubrey, I'm always quoting this thing, and I think our definition of how we think about human body and why this whole thing became investable and interesting for all of us. And I'm very happy to see, as a chemical engineer by first degree, when we're moving from biological take on human body and mind and implementing more engineering approach. The way we think about longevity and Longevity Vision Fund is going to be in the article in one of the major publications in the US in a month's time. So, every time I kind of read something confusing or interesting on longevity, I try to put it in 3 buckets. So horizon number 1 is something that we can do today. It's like early diagnostic or much more accessible version of devices. So there's something that we can do today. Horizon number 2, and this is where the major focus of our fund is some breakthrough technologies that are in a development phase now, but we're going to benefit in the next 5 to 10 to 15 years, and will help us to break the 122 or 123 years barrier for the human life. And then horizon number 3, we did discuss this already. It's all visionary, scary stuff. I don't know if I want to be there, but it is about reversing aging. It is about detaching our mind from our body, and hopefully doing like monthly backups and creating virtual versions of ourselves for the loved ones. Again, it's all in the future. We shouldn't worry, and I will not put a lot of money into that. But I think it's just important to understand the elements of that coming to our life, and the companies that we all starting. That's it. Stay with us, and I think we just need to do much better job communicating with the public, rather than in this kind of closed circle when everyone knows each other. So this is what I'm trying to do, and obviously I encourage many of you to do at least one public talk with completely unprepared audience. My best experience was in LA library with like 400. The kids. I'm 48, so they were kids for me, but like 20 to 25 years old audience. They have completely different perspective on longevity. So, let's try to do this service to the public, and let's create much more positive engagement about the things that we do and about things that we don't do. Yeah, thank you.